during the time while you were recovering, Q happened to hear a strange sound coming from the basement, which was expressly made off limits to you guys. And that's where we're gonna start. Q, it's the middle of the night. You have traumatized whatever is on the other side of this door.
Everybody else is in their rooms still, correct? Nobody else was doing anything weird?
As far as you are aware, everybody else is asleep.
I am going to go to Teo's room, assuming he has not locked me out.
Did Teo and Carrion lock the door? No, who did Carrion stay with?
She
I
stayed
forget
with
what the
me.
room.
She stayed with me.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have felt the need to lock it. God damn it.
You're going to be woken up because I am sort of trying to poke you. It's distracted because it is both trying to wake you up and also trying to get a feel for like the fact you are actually made out of stone.
Will you please stop groping me?
Okay. I just wanted to let you know I think I found another garbage disposal.
Meaning what?
Well, in the basement.
That we're not allowed to go to?
I didn't go to it. I did a non-invasive test. And there are like, do you remember those fish that like could sort of play and talk? There's something like
Three.
that, only it's, in the basement. I don't know what I don't think they're fish. Um
Well,
I couldn't see them because there was a door.
did you hear any water?
No.
Then probably not fish, no. And also, our friends in the cave did not speak to us.
Oh, these ones did.
What do you want me to do about this information?
Oh, I mean, you seemed to recognize a garbage disposal last time, so I thought you would just like to know that we found another one if you wanted to like look at it, because you seem it just seemed like something you were interested in.
That is because I was stuck in one last time. And quite honestly, Q, I don't think this is a garbage disposal. This
Oh,
woman studies things. They're probably test subjects, which has its own
like us.
level of. Oh, now you've made me worried. Why would you do this? Q, do you remember what Madame Oldham studies?
Like, of course she does. Remember?
Right? And do you remember what can happen to plague victims?
Oh, all sorts of things she went through. There's dementia, and I just start listing off symptoms of plague.
No, no, no. After they die, what happens to the bodies after they die?
Oh, they come back, and I was actually thinking about this because I was thinking that maybe that happened to us, but
No.
and I is Karen still asleep? I'm just gonna point at Karen and be like, I don't think it would have worked because she said people like Carrion couldn't get the plague, so unless this is a different thing, like a different type of plague, then like Carrion should
We
still be dead.
we do
Carrion
not.
flips the bird over his shoulder but doesn't make any other gesture.
Okay. I'm gonna sit up more properly so I can actually
Oh,
have
you've been
this
lying
talk
down this
with
whole
you.
time?
Yeah, I was tired. my my face was like down in the pillow. Alright. Okay. Q,
Mhm.
we are not plague victims. We have been somehow, some way, in one manner or another, brought back from the dead, but we did not die of plague.
Well, yeah, you did that just now. I just brought you back from the dead.
Q, at night, do you truly think that you die again?
Yeah.
Right. Alright, I'm going to explain something very simple to you before
Okay.
we move on to what's in the basement.
I sit down like cross-legged.
At night, with the exception of a few creatures who either don't sleep or sleep during the day, we sleep. Sleeping is different from death.
All right. um, Emberlosa,
Yeah.
you are asleep. Well, you were asleep. Now you are being rudely awoken by a familiar who is basically hall monitoring Q. And you are the teacher that she is telling on.
If I just ignore them, it will no longer be my problem, right?
But don't you want to see what they're doing?
How dare you use my curiosity?
Shirazа just preens by the door.
Fine.
Q. Back at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just sticking your ear to it again?
Yeah, I'll check to see if they're still by the door.
You. It takes a couple of moments before you hear sounds that are close to the door. You're not entirely sure what they are, they're muffled, just some sort of moving around, but they're definitely still by the door.
I'm just gonna knock again a little bit and hit him with a yoo-hoo.
Alright. It's around this time, Amberlosa, that you come to the stairs and can see this. You don't really get any verbal or physical response that you hear. Just knocking on the door and hitting him with the yoo-hoo.
I've just learned that Anessa is probably not actually dead. She's just sleeping, which is which is like which is like a normal type of death, but like temporary. It's because it's like a restful one as opposed to a permanent one. So it's actually good for you. But I just want to let you know that, she's gonna be fine. And yeah, if there's anything you wanted me to tell her or anything else you need, I'm out of meat. I'm sorry.
There is a moment, and then Q, with your head against the door, it is suddenly viciously rattled as you hear the sound of claws scoring down the door with a strength that is disgustingly inhuman.
Okay, I'll try to tell her that. Um, I don't know if you sleep, but if you do it well, and I'll give Vanessa your message. And I'm going to like try to pivot and just like casually walk away from this rattling ass door behind me.
It was just one claw. It was just one
Oh,
solid hit.
I thought they were like
No, it was just
Okay.
one solid hit.
How graceful. Actively seek out places that we're strictly told not to go to.
I mean, I didn't go in the basement.
No, but you were right there, for lack of a better term.
I wanted this woman. She knows more than anyone else we've met.
She also knows more than she lets on. Guarantee it.
I wanted to see if she knew something about me or something about the plague. See if maybe that's where she kept the bird masks.
This seems like a conversation you should have with Teo, probably.
Oh, I did. He told me that's why I came back. Because he told me, because the first time I went down there, I. Did you know that people go to sleep?
I look at Jiraza. This? I suddenly am not that curious in what they're doing anymore. But, yes, I did know people go to sleep.
I'm just gonna pretend like didn't hear that and just start explaining the concept of sleep to you.
Before you even start.
uh, wisdom. Ah, shit.
Quiet. I'm going back to bed. Do anything stupid. Or if you do, at least make someone that isn't me is around. And I'm gonna leave before my 6 seconds are up.
I will
Run, bitch,
go to.
run.
I will just go to sleep in front of Vanessa's door again, I guess.
All right.
In front of Vanessa's door?
That's where I slept last time. That's where I started the night.
What a nightmare.
Oh my god.
This is Exarch of Nightmares.
This is stalking.
One last thing, though, before the night ends. I will let you all decide as a group now. Do you want your nightmares to be in the private channel or the public channel?
Teo is becoming this party's Jane. He will never have a full rest.
With any luck, yes.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I only bug Teo if I have a question.
Oh dear.
Don't let him know. Don't let him know.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't even want to know what you people have talked about.
It's a surprise.
who's next
Dawn
in the map
comes.
corner?
Everyone wakes. Nobody else has a nightmare tonight.
Just puts me in the breaming with confidence.
What?
Q, since you're the last to bed, you're the one who is rudely awoken by an accidental boot to the side.
Oh. I presume it's Vanessa's.
Yes, it's a very sleepy looking Vanessa who totally just accidentally trod on you.
An equally sleepy looking Q is just gonna be like, I was supposed to tell you something, and then just whack their arm against the door.
Strength check.
Oh dear god.
You you slam the door into the stone wall with a resounding crap everybody else.
I'm gonna go back to sleep. And then just plonk.
Vanessa is going to make her way downstairs, ignoring the rest of you as you go about whatever your day is.
You said there's tea in the sitting room, yeah?
There is.
I'm gonna go have breakfast.
Okay.
This is probably just like overly sweetened tea. More than likely.
So breakfast for everybody then, I assume, except for Q, who is sleeping in.
Q's taking brunch.
And if Teo is in the sitting room, that is the first floor. So who else is taking breakfast in the sitting room?
I probably will.
All right.
I guess we'll just have a family breakfast.
Okay.
Never say that again.
Family breakfast for everybody,
We aren't
except
even
for
friends,
all.
let alone family.
As the rest of you are pulling things out of her little magical refrigerator, for lack of a better phrase. You watch as she grabs her breakfast and then immediately makes a beeline for the basement door, opening it with a wave and then slamming it before any of you really get a glimpse in.
Oh, I'm sure that's a delight down there.
Not our problem, not our business.
I mean, if it gets out, it kinda becomes our problem.
Nope. Unless we have to deal with it. Let's not.
That would be my preference.
Because that's, the basement that we were told not to go into. And
Hmm.
I can't help but feel that there might be a reason.
The basement door opens. Vanessa steps out, and she very calmly walks upstairs.
There's got to be awful things.
I'm gonna make an insight check. I don't like that.
Yeah. I also want to make an insert check.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. You.
I there we go.
Amberlosa, she calmly walks upstairs. Teo, this woman is livid. Q, you are woken up maybe 15 minutes after you slammed the door and went back to bed by a cane prodding into your ribs.
She has a cane?
She stepped over you and got her staff from upstairs.
Oh, I got.
So it's actually a staff, not a cane. But
Okay. I was like, she went and got a cane just for me. I'm touched.
she went and got a staff just for you. You are being touched with it.
Mm. Hey.
It's time for another one of our lessons. Up into my lab,
Okay.
please.
5 more minutes.
I know. Up into my lab, please.
Then I'm just gonna pick myself up and get dressed and follow her up the stairs.
Q. Is there something you want to tell me?
I already gave you the message. Do you want me to repeat it?
Who is this message from?
Oh, it was from your garbage disposal.
My what?
Your garbage disposal. They were really worried about you, so they said.
Elaborate.
So, okay, this is and I basically tell them I tell her the whole thing with like the cave and how that was a garbage disposal. And then I tell her how I wanted to see if her cave, her basement, was also a garbage disposal. I didn't go in because she said don't go in, but I asked if they wanted to tell her anything because they were saying her name a lot and they seemed worried about her. And they just hit the door.
As you are around the point where you get to playing with the cave sirens, she has already wandered over and has started making tea and is just sitting there, like leaning on the counter, facing away from you, rubbing the bridge of her nose between her thumb and her forefinger. Cute.
Mhm.
Generally speaking, when somebody says don't go into the basement, that means avoid the basement door, don't look at the basement, don't acknowledge that the basement exists.
But it's right there.
For future reference, that is the responsible response in polite society, of which I am a part of.
Am I a part of it?
Not yet.
Do I need a bird mask in order to be part of it? Do you have one? I haven't seen you in one.
I have a bird mask.
Can I see it?
You know what? Sure. She goes to her closet and pulls out her bird mask. It's not the same design as fuck's his name's Pietro's, but
Grave
it's
robber.
it's also a plague mask. She's a part of the same society.
I am going to use this opportunity to try and pivot it off the basement thing and into the fact that she's mentioned a lot of things offhand. Like you would have met a grave digger, you would like the battlefield lost soldiers. She mentioned a lot of things offhand that she knows about that, but that we don't. Right. So in this case, I'd be asking, like, what exactly? Because Pietro also mentioned he was part of an order. Like, what exactly is this order, and what do they do? These grave diggers that he seems to be in charge of.
The gravediggers are just a. We are a part of the coalition of societies that is attempting to cure the plague. We have the most people who wear the bird masks wear it as an identifier that they're willing to help people with the plague. It's basically a symbol that you're not going to kill them right out of hand and you're going to try and get them some aid if aid is possible. Gravediggers are a part of that group that take a harsher stance on people in the last stage of the plague. That's the part that Pietro and I are officially with.
And that's why he was living in a cave next to a battlefield.
No, that's because his daughter got sick and people overreacted and thought she had the plague.
Then what's the battlefield then?
Oh, he's just a scavenger. He can't exactly work if he's too busy trying to keep his daughter out of madmen's hands.
Daughter's alive?
Yes.
No, I figured she was dead from what you said.
No, she's alive.
You still... But what's the battlefield then?
The battlefield is a battlefield that just appeared. Nobody knows who the soldiers on the battlefield were. We haven't been able to identify any of them. Nobody recognizes any heraldry. Nobody heard of any battle taking place, although it's in the wastes, so nobody really travels by often.
I'm just gonna sort of look at my armor and equipment and then sort of hold it up and like I'm gonna try to like hold it up close to her eyes and be like, like to see if it jogs any memory for her.
You don't actually have any heraldry on your armor at all.
I know, but like just the design or anything.
It looks like it was made on the Estertoy Isles. It's definitely materials native to here, but as far as I can tell, you may as well just be any mercenary.
What was there anything else to this lesson aside from polite society?
Yes, don't go into my basement. Amberlosa, Yvette, not Paco.
Paco is now the character.
I myself have
He
entered the
doesn't-
world
the
of Exarch of
character
Nightmares.
doesn't have a name. The character doesn't have a name.
What are the
Un-
stats on an arm and a leg?
Uh, I've got really high dex,
And
but
really
like,
shit con?
yeah, no constitution.
Probably like no charisma too.
Yeah, or strength.
Maybe some wisdom?
Mm,
Maybe. But like to be sentient arm and leg, you have to have high intelligence. Right. So, do we have any reason to stay, or should we continue on our task we've been given?
what exactly was her task force again? Go to Crow's Landing, retrieve something, bring it back?
Yes.
We get any info on what that something was?
No. Presumably nothing overly dangerous. She asked us to get it from a contact of hers, right?
Yes, and if you go and ask her for more details now that you're actually planning on leaving, she will tell you that it is going to be a green, about fist sized crystal looking thing with a gold wire wrapping almost around it. And the wire wrapping is going to have rubies inlaid in it. All in
Jesus.
all, it's going to look super ostentatious.
And we're
So,
picking this up from
And you are picking this up from a baron in Crow's Landing.
a baron.
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 so green fist-sized crystal wrapped in chain and rubies? Gold chain and ruby?
Gold wire and ruby, yeah.
The minute she says
Oh.
fist-sized crystal, I'm gonna whip out that amulet and be like, oh, like this? Obviously, I don't think this is green, but
Is that your friend's? And she's gonna point at Amberlosa.
no, I found this. It was in a box, in a cave, with a bunch of these, and I hold up a gold coin leading to it.
Right.
It
So,
was an obvious trap, and we tried to
the
prevent it.
moment she whips that out, actually, I'm gonna take like 6 inches backwards of a step.
I'm gonna take half a step back.
I'm just standing here holding the necklace in one hand, a coin in the other, and like trying to like balance the box on my hip to show to
really
give the
hope-
complete picture.
I really had hoped you had lost that in the water.
It's not that yeah, it's not that I don't enjoy you collecting things. It's just certain things shouldn't be collected, especially ones that have
Obvious traps.
obvious.
I mean, that's a pretty common dark shard amulet, so it's not that dangerous.
It's not the amulet I'm worried about. It's where she got it.
I mean, coins spaced 6 inches apart all the way leading up to it. I mean, that's not natural.
You should put a leash on her.
They're going to.
Oh no, I would never do something so undignifying. I wouldn't do something so dignifying directly, at least. That's what they're for.
How kind of you.
I'm being generous. I didn't want to take that away from you.
Q's not listening to any of this. If there's a source of light in here, I'm gonna test out because I have it written here that it's light absorbing. If I hold it in front of light, does it actually not have like a reflection of the light on it?
It does not. It is almost. It is the shard that makes up the amulet is unnaturally dark. Given that she just called it a dark shard amulet.
I mean, I still don't know what that is.
Is it
Well, yeah, but it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Is it Vantus Black?
Yes, it's Mantis Black.
So what does it do aside from this? And I sort of like hold it near the fire again.
It enhances the abilities of individuals who are in a contract with an extraplanar deity, or any deity. Yeah, an extraplanar deity.
Q doesn't know what that is.
The colloquial term is warlock.
Nothing.
All right.
Considering she asked if it was Amberlosa's, Teo's just giving her a look.
What does that look for? It's rude to stare. Blink at least a couple times.
I don't feel the sensation.
Really? Does the dust just like build up, or?
No idea.
Right, I feel like we've taken up this poor woman's space for enough time. I feel.
Well, if this is a dark shard amulet, then what's your green shard amulet do?
It's not an amulet. It's not attached to a necklace.
Oh, well, so does it do something different?
Yes.
What?
I'll tell you when you get it.
It's like talking to a 2-year-old.
God, I wish I had some of that mushroom stuff left so I could try to paint this green. But I don't.
Blake and I had the exact same reaction.
You're not a goddamn Warhammer orc. The color is not gonna change how it works.
It goes faster if you paint it red.
I fucking hate Warhammer. Stupidest fucking lore.
So, Crow's Landing is right here.
Wait,
Right
where?
Are you on the GM there? Ah.
I am
Oh
not.
my god, we have to cross the country.
The fastest path would take you through what is simply labeled as the Dead City.
Sounds safe.
The safer path, which would be that way, is going to take 20 days. The riskier path is going to take 16 days. So the question is, does the 4 days matter?
A lot could happen in 4 days.
Yeah.
I'm not going through a city labeled the Dead City.
It's dead. Nothing's there.
There's probably a reason for that. We are in a country infested by plague. What could have possibly caused the wipeout of an entire city? Why might a city be dead? What happens to plague victims
They ran out of
this
food.
specific plague?
I mean,
I'm with Amberlosa. 20 days it is.
well, Q, what do you want to do? Want to go on an adventure through the city of dead, or the dead city?
No, you don't.
Come
I mean, are they dead or are they
on.
sleeping?
Dead.
Could be both.
They are definitely not sleeping.
So they're either undead or awake.
Yeah, I suppose that's a way to look at it.
Close enough.
I mean, do you want to find out?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
It's a 2v2 vote. God damn it.
Do we fight to the death to solve?
No, you talk about it like adults.
How do you want to solve this?
The last time you two made decisions, we ended up in a cave with ravenous fish people.
Whoa, whoa. I have never made decisions.
The worst part is I know how the other two would vote if they were here, and it would still be a fucking dead tie because of how they would vote.
The best part. part. That's the only reason I didn't chip in with either of their opinions.
Still be a dead fucking tie.
Why don't we
Yeah.
split up?
Let's split up, gang. No, Q's actually not gonna be a fan of that.
Me and
How
Q can
about-
raise you and him. We'll see who goes on first.
If I
That sounds
could,
fun.
hold on 1 second.
Maybe if it wasn't 20 days.
I'm just throwing this out there. If we get into combat going your way, I'm not healing you.
That's not nice.
It's pragmatic. You made the stupid decision. You reap the stupid rewards.
Well, I suppose that's fair. I'll just stand behind you.
Alright, since none of us can make a decision as a group, I'm going to make a decision for everyone. We're taking the long road because it is safer. We will encounter less problems statistically, and things will go smoother.
How about we
Wouldn't-
flip a coin?
How
Or
about we
That
we
would
just
simply be easier.
agree with we just agree with Amorosa and go on with our day.
Wouldn't more other people be using the safe road? People who don't
Yeah.
like Teo, who don't like carrion.
And we'll cross those bridges. At least I know how to deal with people like that. I don't know how to deal with endless hordes of the undead.
I feel like it's easier than dealing with people.
Oh no, people are so
Extensively.
much fun to deal with though.
Okay, but I get to make next decision.
That was never agreed upon, but you can discuss that later.
What race is you at again?
Wood elf.
You know what? You can make the next decision when we get to a town. How's that sound?
Okay.
Alright, now, follow me. Let's go this way.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Going to get more dice to destroy us all.
Hopefully.
I
Oh.
have lessened the
Oh.
amount of dice.
That's why.
What the
Oh.
Someone's having a nightmare.
Ah!
That'll do it.
So we're going like this way,
Yeah, I'm trying to understand this route.
then go through the city like that.
Okay, so you make it onto the road and you don't see that many travelers over the first couple days, and just as you're starting to settle in and kind of rid yourself of that lingering we're traveling with a tiefling and an ASMR and Glycellin feeling that really only Amberlosa understands the true extent of, but
I'm wearing my cloak to the best of my ability to hide my head. The wings are probably poking out, though.
then there's nothing you can do for Carrion.
Absolutely not. I've got a
Carrion refuses to let anything be done either.
My feathered cloak is oddly shaped, and
You just
skin
look
is
a
way
little
too big.
hunchback, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fine. Better to be a hunchback than an ASMR?
But just as you're starting to settle into traveling on the road where it is significantly less treacherous, trying to travel through the wilderness in the desolate wastelands, you pass by, well, more accurately, you see on the distance coming towards you, the opposite direction, horses. A carriage, actually. Do you just continue walking as normal, or do you make any move to avoid?
Is this carriage like open
Like,
top? Is it like a pioneer carriage? Is it a stagecoach?
is it taking up the whole
It's
road?
it's like a stagecoach. It's basically it's similar to the one that you guys took the new fledgling vampires back in.
Okay. Is it taking up the whole road or just one side of it?
It's just taking up one side of it. You could walk past it easily.
Wait, is it coming towards us or is
It's
it
coming
Yes,
towards
it's
us.
coming towards us. You're going opposite directions.
Okay.
I mean, Q's gonna be fascinated because I don't know if they've seen a horse by this point,
They
But-
have not.
but they are gonna instinctively step aside because it's clearly heading towards us.
Yeah, I'm thinking just getting
Is someone
closer to the
driving it?
edge.
There's a yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking just getting closer to the edge of the road. Just to be safe, but otherwise I don't see a problem.
Okay. Since you're attempting to conceal yourself, Teo, could you please make me a
Performance?
I would say a stealth or a performance check.
Mm. I have better performance, so it's just. Ugh.
Teo, like half your cloak is kind of flipped over, and you don't really realize it. So you're definitely exposing like a significant amount of wing.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrion is just straight up glaring balefully at the carriage. The stagecoach driver does I'm not even gonna say it's a double take. It's more like a double take and then a triple take, and he just kind of keeps his eyes fixed on Carrion as you guys pass each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you see his hand move to the gun that is clearly propped up next to him, but he doesn't actually make any move against you. All right. Cue hit some of the yoo-hoo. He does not respond.
Damn it.
He and Carrion are just staring each other down. But nobody kills each other.
In-
And oh, yep.
I was just gonna ask, in like the fleeting seconds it would have been passing us, could we see into the carriage any?
Are you gonna pop up onto your tiptoes, turn looking through the window?
Yeah.
They are drawn.
Damn it.
But as you watch, because Q is definitely the type of person to turn around and gawk, as you watch the carriage continue away from you, you do see one of the blinds in the back window draw and a tiny little face watching you, like wide eyed.
Oh.
About a day outside of Rome House, and I assume you would all decide to formulate a plan of action for walking into a heavily fortified military city with a tiefling and an ASMR.
Yes.
Can we actually like see the city from where we're at?
Yes, you are at the point where you can just see
I
legendarily, I mean, only Emberlosa would know this, but the fortifications, the walls of Romhills are a damn near world wonder.
out of curiosity, because I can't tell by looking at this kind of map, is it a canal city? Like if it's like is it completely covering
Yes.
that? Okay.
It is completely yes, it's completely covering this, and there are docks on both the southwest and northeastern parts of Romhells. Like there are two different dock districts.
Okay.
There aren't actually very many. There's one canal running through like the dead center of the city
Mhm.
that appears to be kind of like a way for boats to get from the southern port to the northern port if they want to.
Mhm.
But other than
Gotcha.
that, there are no canals.
Gotcha.
So basically, there's a great big canal cutting the city in half.
So we
So
can't
it's-
just like walk around it.
No, it covers
No.
the entire.
Isthmus.
It used to be a significantly smaller city, but a lot of people moved there shortly before the plague because he was one of the few governors taking a harsh stance against the plague at the very, very beginning. He is this is Milan. Milan's the one that just burned everybody, right? In the Black Death.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. This is Milan.
I mean,
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah.
the only city to
Yeah.
do so, but
Yes, but this is Milan. This is the city that is known for it. You know,
okay.
like villages, smaller towns. They do it all the time. Nobody looks twice. Romhells is the city that does it.
Gotcha.
How far away from Romhells is Crow's Landing? Like how many days additional journey?
Let me math real quick.
No problem.
Like 2 days. Um, the rest of you wouldn't know this because none of you bothered to ask. But Amberlosa, you would know that Crow's Landing is kind of like a free port. It was actually founded by bandits. And it's kept in check by Romhells. It's a semi legit city, a semi legit town now, but it was founded by bandits and it still has a kind of a, a criminal air to it,
Alright.
even if it is technically a legit city now, because it being turned into a legit city was basically the peace offering to the bandit queen so that she would stop fucking everybody up.
As one does.
They were like, hey, we'll turn your fortress into like a legal city if you stop the crime, please. Full pardons.
Where the argument is, I'll stop the crime. No. Lessen it significantly? Maybe. That's kind of
That
biased.
that's what happened. You're getting the gist of it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Publicly, sure. Why not?
Publicly, the bandit queen is totally legit now, despite the fact that literally everybody only knows her as the bandit queen.
You know,
Private,
that's suspicious.
privately, it's still a nah, fuck you, I'm doing what I want.
Mob town.
But I'll impart that information.
How do you suggest we get through Romhills?
Well, typically when going through a city, the front gate is a good place to start.
With Carrion and I.
Well, they have all those things, right? And I'm pointing at boats. I don't know what they're called, but I'm pointing at them. Why can't we just get one of those and go around?
That would cost more money than we probably have at this time.
Well, I mean, if we got it legally.
Which we should.
We steal another boat. Guys, we're doing SOS again.
This time Joe's a player.
I will say though, you don't see many boats.
Okay.
The only boats you see are docked in the port, which you can probably barely see. Like you can probably like see a couple masts.
There's absolutely no way we are going to be able to hide Carrion's wings or horns.
No. Very doubtful. And then, of course, there's you as well.
Correct. Although
There's a little bit problem there.
Madame also did imply that I might have a better chance than Carrion at the very least.
Hmm.
Not by much, but
As much as I hate to suggest it, well, I don't really hate suggesting it because I think it's about the only thing that makes the most sense, though problems will arise. Going straight through, at the very least, finding a ship captain who is willing to get us there.
we could simply approach the gate and see what happens. But
Well, they sent us to a garbage disposal last time.
Well, there is another option. If you're fine with taking another 3 days travel.
and that option would be
Home.
pardon.
Where I used to live.
That being
It's not marked on the map. It's pretty unimportant. It's unnoticeable. It's a little bit more open-minded ish. I don't know if there's military presence there still. If there is, then probably a little bit more close-minded. But does have a small port of fishing vessels.
And it is very close to Crow's Landing because it is on that peninsula.
that looks like an actual crow in flight.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Quite honestly, I would just like to see a little bit of civilization.
You'll see a bit of civilization.
No offense, but it does not sound like there is much civilization in the location you're talking about.
Alright, well, I'm sure there's guards at the front gates. Why don't you go hash it out with them?
Bitch.
Or if you'd like, I could try and see how willing they are to let quote unquote undesirables through. This wall looks very homey.
Why not approach together? United front.
Oh, this is going to go splendidly. Let's do it. Alright, well, I
don't
guess
really
we're
want to.
going to the front gate.
All right.
So we were a
Is
day out.
everybody
when we-
going, or is it just Teo and Amberlosa?
Oh no, I'm dragging everyone into this.
Fuck it. I guess we're all just going. I mean, I know not to go, but fuck it.
Do
Let's-
you?
Yeah, they weren't very
you
nice to us at the last gate.
They were specifically not nice to Carrion.
They weren't very nice to
Yeah.
you either.
They were
Oh,
pretty mean to like everybody.
Yeah, but Carrion was the main target.
Well, yeah. I don't know what beef they had with her, but you know.
So
All right, so you
So-
all continue on your way to the gate.
I'm just gonna say, because we're a day out and there's a bit of time for Q to like the excitement to wear off and like think, Q thinks this is a bad idea.
oh, it's a terrible idea.
No. It's a great idea.
Oh, absolutely. Be great. It'll be a team building experience.
I agree.
Or we can't leave out here.
You are within the heavily patrolled borders of Rome Hills, so there is no random encounter over the night. You're passing through farmland at this point, although you would notice that a lot of the farms are untended. It's only until you get like closer to the city that the farms are fully they seem to be doing pretty well actually for this close to the desolate wasteland, but it's clear that they don't have the manpower to tend to the fields that they used to.
So this country is fucking dying, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And eventually you get within eyesight of the guards.
Here we go.
I'm not making any attempts to be hidden, so
Around the
Q.
time you get within shouting distance, you are halted.
Q is standing in the very back because, like I said, they're not a fan of this
So who's
plan.
in the front?
I probably am.
What's the order that you're gathering in while you wait to be approached by the guards?
Velusa's in front, obviously.
Teo's next door.
Alright, and I'm gonna say Carrie and Iran are kind of
Huddled.
loitering in the middle.
Yeah.
After you're halted, two guards climb from the guard towers and exit to approach you. You're stopped well clear of the gate, actually. And although two climb down from the tower, four come out. The two that were at the top of the tower kind of linger between the two that are coming more purposefully towards you. The two that are lingering both carry guns, and the two that are approaching you are a shield and spear. Q.
Mm-hmm.
You are wearing armor that is very similar to these guards, actually. You have a simple single colored tabard instead, but like the armor design itself, it does bear some remarkable likeness.
Okay.
Yours is more, I'd say that you probably, the top half of your armor is probably similar to these guards, but the bottom half is a little bit, it looks almost like it's not the same armor set as the top half, although it works together pretty well, like it was clearly doctored to work together.
Do
And
they
you didn't really pick that up until you saw these guards.
have tabards as well? That are
They do have tabards, but theirs are printed with the symbol of Romhills on them, which is a. It looks a little bit similar to the Dragon Age Templars, actually, in that it's the kind of flaming sword motif, but it has a setting sun behind it, and there's a flower design that you can't really tell around like the edges of the tabard, like basically like a trailing along the sides. It's a pretty neat symbol for a city, actually. Like it's definitely more ornate than most of the other cities' heraldry, other than Airthal's, of course.
okay? I still think this is a bad idea.
Oh, Amber Wilson knows
terrible
this
idea.
is a bad idea, but you know what? She's gonna make a point like an asshole, so she's gonna do it this way.
The two guards that approach you stop about 15 feet away. Teo, are you making any attempt to hide the fact that you're an ASMR? Are you keeping your cloak over your shoulders and all that? And your hood up?
No.
Okay.
Being upfront.
They stop about 15 feet away from you and they look over your party. When their eyes land on Carrion, the one on the right holds up a hand in a gesture, and the guards in the back raise their guns.
Oh, how hospitable.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Right, we were merely trying to make our way past to get to.
I'm going to ask you one more time to leave, and then we're going to put that thing down.
And
Right, don't listen to the idiot. Yes, we'll be on our way. We apologize for wasting your time.
Don't do it again.
That worked out great. Fuck y'all. Have a nice day.
The guard raises his hand warningly.
I'm stepping well clear of the Yvette.
As I'm walking away, I'm gonna make finger guns at him.
Yvette, Yvette has canonically invented finger guns.
Yvette's finger gunned a couple times now.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did it in
And
the cave too.
with that, I'm going to basically get all of the party and have them leave.
Q, with the highest passive perception, you're actually the only one to hear this. As you are all making your way away from the angry guards, you hear a. Did she look familiar? Kind of. I was more focused on the beast, you know?
I mean, I'm gonna hang back, but it's mostly like I'm going to trail behind the party mostly to make sure they don't shoot us as we're leaving.
They are continuing to watch you as you leave. They watch you for a good ways before they return to their tower, but they aren't going to attack you unless you don't follow their instructions to leave immediately.
So, Teo, how was that taste of civilization?
Enlightening.
Yeah, people are disappointing.
They only reacted to one of us.
And that was enough, wasn't it?
For you, perhaps. It made me more curious.
Like I said, there's a village to the northeast of here, with a way to get to the landing. It'll have a store, it'll have a few other places that we can utilize.
And for the return trip,
Well, the return trip, I would assume, being the place that it is, it's a little less strict. Working off of assumptions, of course.
but will we not have to charter a new ship with money we don't have and or cross through the city again?
True enough, makes sense. But
There are plenty of ways to make money in Crow's Landing.
Let's hit a bookie,
I am a
You
guys.
just gotta get
lawful
in.
neutral character. I ain't breaking laws for shit.
I mean, as long as it's legal there, you're not breaking the law. Uh,
Got you there.
Crow's Landing is subject to different laws. It isn't technically under Romhell's control, despite the fact that it's only a town and not a city.
so yes. Did this go out the way you wanted? Definitely not. Did it go out the way I expected? Absolutely.
You are quite an optimist, aren't you?
Optimistic is so... I don't like that word. That word's unclean. It's dirty. And filled with false promise. Realistic, maybe.
One way of putting it, yes. Sadly, I have not quite gotten rid of my wish to experience this city, but another time.
Regardless what you do to that village, I don't really care much anymore. I just needed to get to the landing, as do you. Village is a means of an end.
That seems to be how you think of a lot of things, isn't it?
It's simple.
In its own way, yes.
Simplicity brings clarity.
So you guys are going to Emberlos's village to try and get a fishing boat?
I guess.
What do you mean trying? Oh, we're getting that fucking boat one way or another.
Well,
Alright.
I guess we're getting on boat one.
Then, since I want everybody to be here for this fantasticness, we are going to end the session with the party about an hour outside of Amberlosa's village.
Oh, darn.